If you don't hurry, you'll miss the train. If I have time, I will finish my essay. Sounds familiar, but you don't really know what it is? Then stay tuned because I will give you a full-blown explanation. Welcome back to my channel. As always, I'm super thrilled that you're here. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to like this video. Also, don't forget to check out my website. I offer free trial lessons and other very interesting courses. Also, if you sign up to become a member of my website, you will enjoy a monthly newsletter and free PDFs. So sign up. In last week's video, I gave you an overview of all 4 conditionals and focused on the 0 conditional. So here is the link if you want to watch it again or if you need to look into the 0 conditional. In this video, I will only focus on the conditional type 1. And this video is also the part 2 of a mini series of 5 videos. So let's dive in and let's get into the conditional type 1. The conditional type 1 describes a specific situation. This is a promise, a possible situation, a prediction, cause, and consequence. Whereas the 0 conditional focuses on the real world and the general truth, such as scientific facts. Let's look at some examples. If you don't hurry, you will miss the train. If you freeze water, it turns into ice. Can you guess which sentence is the 0 conditional and which sentence is the conditional type 1? I'll give you a second to look at it. The first sentence describes a conditional type 1 sentence because it is describing a possible situation and also a cause and consequence. So if you don't hurry, as a consequence, you will miss the train. The second sentence describes a 0 conditional because we're talking about the general truth or a scientific fact. So if you freeze water, it turns into ice. We all know that. Now let's just focus on the conditional type 1 and look at some examples. If I have enough money, I'll buy some new sneakers. This is a prediction that I'm making because I know that at the time when I have money, that I will buy some new sneakers. So we also have a cause and a consequence. I won't go to the park if it rains. This is a prediction, but also a cause and consequence. So if it rains as a consequence, I will not go to the park. But it's also a prediction because, as I'm saying, okay, if it rains, then guys, don't count with me. I'm not going to the park with you. If we get his email address, we'll send him an email. This is a promise, but at the same time also a cause and consequence situation. It is a promise to you guys that if we get the email address, that we will send it, and if we get it as a consequence, we will send the email. All these sentences describe a specific situation, either a prediction, a promise, a possible situation, or a cause and consequence situation. So if A happens, as a consequence, B will happen. Now let's look at the form of the conditional type 1. As I explained in last week's video, there is always a conditional clause, also called if clause, and a main clause. Let's look at the if clause first. In the if clause, you can find the if, then the person or the object, then the verb in the present simple, and then the rest. In the main clause, you can find the person or the object, then the verb in the will future, which is also the future simple, and then the rest. If you need more information on the present simple or the future simple, then I suggest that you click on this link up here because I have a video about both of the tenses. But let's get back to the form of the conditional type 1 and let's look at some examples. If I have enough money, I will buy some new sneakers. The if clause. It starts with if, then with the person, which is I, then with the verb in the present simple form, which is have. Then with the rest, enough money. Then there's a comma, which is separating the if clause and the main clause. And after the comma, we are in the main clause. This starts with the person, which is I, then with the verb in the future simple, which is will buy, and then the rest of the sentence, some new sneakers. Another sentence. If I study hard today, I will go to the party tomorrow. Again, the if clause. It starts with if. Then with the person, which is in this case I. Then with the verb in the present simple, which is study. Then with the rest, which is hard today. Then there's a comma. And after the comma, we are again in the main clause. This starts with the person, which is I. Then with the verb in the future simple, which is will go. And then with the rest, to the party tonight, and the sentence is done. Please keep in mind that the if clause and the main clause are interchangeable. This means we can put the main clause in the first position and the if clause into the second position. And then it would look like this. I will go to the party tonight if I study hard today. The only difference is that there is no comma if the main clause is in the first position. We only have a comma if the if sentence or the if clause is in the first position. Let's summarize. The conditional type 1 describes a specific situation. This can be a promise, a prediction, or a possible situation, and last but not least, a cause and consequence. You always have an if clause and the main clause. A comma separates the two clauses. However, there is no comma if you put the main clause into the first position. The word order looks like the following. In the if clause, we have the if, the person or the object, the verb in the present simple form, and the rest. Then there's a comma, of course. In the main clause, we have the person or the object, the verb in the future simple, and the rest. Again, if you need a refresher on the present simple or future simple, please click on this link up here. That will lead you to the following videos. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to like this video. I hope to see you next week when we talk about the conditional type 2.